just press play on the Nerd Mixtape. Thank you for joining us. My name's Jim.
Claudia. And Melinda.
And today we're going to talk about Netflix original show or movie.
No, it's a movie.
Death Note. Super awesome
Does
movie.
It count as,
Death Note.
Does it count as original if it was taken from a show which was taken from a manga series?
Yeah, probably not. But it's a show that Netflix did, which was actually pretty cool. Oh, man.
A movie that Netflix just released on August 28th.
Sure. Yeah,
Right,
it came out. Yeah, it came out
it's been
last Friday. Yeah,
right,
for
so
us last Friday, and it was a show that I told you guys about. I was like, "Hey, you guys need to watch this movie, Death Note." And I've been telling you for like probably a whole semester to watch the anime. I'm like, if there's any animes you watch either Death Note or Attack on Titan. Check these out. And how many of you did this? Took my recommendation?
I started watching the show. I'm on episode 5.
After the fact. Yeah, so Melinda started watching it. I watched the anime.
Shout out Dea.
Yeah, to her friend Dea. I think we told you.
You did.
Yeah.
Okay, so you told me, I think it was the Teacher of the Year, new teacher breakfast.
Okay.
I don't know. It was an event like that a while back. And you were telling me about all the anime that you had been watching, and you recommended this. And I'm like, pass. But you forced us to watch the movie, and I mean, to break it down, spoilers, it was a waste of time. It was trash.
Yeah. So Death Note was this, obviously you have our Death Note right there. Mini Death Note notebook.
It's a travel-sized
It's a travel-sized Death Note for like easy access and murdering people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what did you guys think of Death Note when you...
I was laughing. I could picture you reading it as a little boy, but then I realized you were not little when you read it.
It was like 5 months ago.
Yeah.
It was a silly plot, but original. So like it kept me. It was funny, like just how silly it was. But I still watched it because I'm like, okay, let's see where this goes. But I can see why emo kids read those books.
So to be fair, the Netflix show we're going to talk about strictly, not strictly, but we're going to talk about the movie. I keep saying show because I want it to be a show.
It is a show.
It is a show on Netflix, the anime, but we're going to talk about the movie because that's what you have seen, and I know you just started the anime, but the movie was, something else.
What's your actual opinion, Jim?
My actual opinion of the movie, it was pretty terrible. Yeah, it was pretty terrible.
Jim standards.
There was some good... What does that mean?
It was trash.
So it was actually... There were some parts in there. The look of the Ryuk, I think, looked okay.
Ryuk. No. That's how he pronounced it. He's like, you pronounced my name wrong. Really, friend? That's what you're going to worry about right now?
Yeah, so you... The way he looked, and Willem Dafoe, I know I could remember him last time when we were talking about Spider-Man.
Dafoe.
Yeah, what?
Oh, it's from How I Met Your Mother?
Don't remember.
Nope, okay.
So you have Willem Dafoe. He played this like a demon thing. What did you think? You're like, what kind of show is this?
I was like,
movie.
These special effects suck.
Really? You thought
like,
that special effects suck?
He's kind of creepy, but I mean, after 3 glasses of wine, what doesn't get like creepy?
Right, okay, so you were drinking and watching.
I was drinking and watching it.
Okay.
That's how I was able to get through it. Thank you, wine.
Nice. Okay. So I thought that was cool. There were some things when it first started. It kind of reminded me of other movies. Final Destination. It had this whole pull back and this whole like lady falling and then or whatever, like a can or ball, whatever fell. And then it started this chain reaction and led to the death. But what did you think about the whole concept of writing down somebody's name and then them dying? I know we talked about it in the lunchroom last time. You guys were like eager to get your hands on something like this.
Oh, that's not true.
That doesn't sound like me.
You guys know me.
Guys, tell us, who do you think is more excited to have a journal like this?
Who here would be more likely to use the Death Note? Let us know in the comments.
Come on.
I feel like you would.
I would not.
I feel like you would.
I wouldn't. I would never use a Death Note.
You do carry a black journal everywhere you go, Jim.
I do. So a Death Note. I'm like,
this person.
No, I didn't want that assignment.
Wrong title.
Wrong title. Not wrong logo. Stretched. No, so it was super cool. I thought like that concept still translated well into this movie, but there were some dumb things like when the guy's acting, I think was pretty lacking.
Light
Turner, when I can't remember his name in the Japanese one, but it's Light
Something.
Tamagotchi, maybe.
No,
Tamagotchi.
that's racist.
Kira.
No,
That's
it's
the
pronounced Kira. No, I'm just kidding.
Kira.
Kira. So they went. That was a cool concept. I was talking to Melinda, I think yesterday, about how he was this intelligent character.
Secret chat.
It was actually a person.
Conversation in person.
Yeah. So talking about how Light created Kira to throw off the cops or throw off all these people. This whole create this lore, this god ship or whatever. Like
that's where it all started, because he wanted his name on stuff. So he's like, I want to know that I did it. So he started writing it on one.
Yeah, he was pretty cocky. So with this movie, it went really fast. So compared to what was in the show, so it like went through super fast. I know you said you're on the 5th episode, and the movie already should have finished. Yeah, it should have ended, and you have like probably 30 more episodes to go.
Yeah,
or
there's 27 episodes in the season, and I'm on episode 5, so I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, so it was a lot of info condensed. There were some things. What did you think about his girlfriend or his Nia?
Oh my god!
I had a lot of issues with her. First of all, why is she a cheerleader? She was so bored. Second of all, why is she smoking?
Third of all, why do they meet and then they go to his room and they start making out, and suddenly he's like an expert in like that? Like, dude, you're a freaking high school kid. Like,
he's an expert in that.
In that?
Was he an expert? I don't remember.
I don't know.
Exploring.
Yeah, I
like,
don't
they
think
just
they
get to his room and the dad's just chilling and doesn't even hear them. Like, I'm sure they make noise. Okay. And
is that what you're thinking about?
I was like, this movie is so bad.
Wine.
The
She was
wine.
like, too much wine.
Wow.
So
I represent regular human beings that probably thought the same thing. Like,
okay.
these kids, why are you watching these kids do it?
Okay. So then you had all these things happen. You had Mia, like her character. She was like, they made her more. She's different from the anime. This character was more into the power that they can have, like, we're gonna rule, like the thing, and she's crazy.
She saw him like as a partner, that they were doing it together, and he didn't see it like that. Like it was still his plan, and things got heated.
Yeah. So one thing I did like about the show, the movie they did a lot more here than I think they did in the anime, which is the whole mind control thing. Like, you're gonna go here, and then you're gonna do this, and you're gonna do this. It was very specific. So that was a cool difference. They do that a little bit in the show, but here it was very like super convoluted and planned. So
it
that
was unrealistically, like the very end. So like skipping to the end of the movie, where everyone should start off, to be honest. Yeah, when they were talking about like the huge paragraphs, like if she says no, then this has to happen, and then it's gonna fall in a fire, and then I'm gonna fall in she's gonna fall in some flowers, and then I'm gonna fall into the ocean
and be safe, and then this guy's gonna pull me out of the water.
That's dumb.
And then he's gonna die later, and then he's gonna grab the notebook and then deliver it to me 2 days later. That whole thing, it was like really convoluted.
Dumb. Like, how on earth? Like, he was about to get taken by like the FBI. Like, how did what? Like. That's so dumb.
So
unrealistic.
It had disproved that he was the one doing it, because he almost died in this thing or whatever. I think that was his plan. So the thing that they didn't convey too much, like until there, like he got kind of smart, because he did plan. He wrote that she was going to take it from him, and then as she fell,
he hoped she wouldn't.
Yeah, and so she did, and then as she was falling, then his note would fall out and it would get burned. Like, it was it was kind of leaving a lot to chance. Like, why would that paper have to fly this certain way to burn itself?
And why was there a trash can on fire randomly? And how convenient in the place next to a carnival? What? Like, I don't understand.
It's a magic notebook.
I'm confused.
I don't know. So that was cool. There were a lot of dumb scenes. A lot of dumb scenes in this movie. But the deaths. What do you think about the deaths?
The first one.
Yeah, the decapitation.
Gross.
Just to show that power. It's like, oh, I hate that guy. Boom, boom, boom. Bully. Boom, decapitated. It was pretty graphic.
Real fast. Like, why?
Yeah, he gave him pretty fast, right? Like, he was like easy. Like, all right, like not. I think in the anime he goes like, who's this
Just
murderer
villain.
on
It was
TV?
just bad
Yeah.
guys. Like he would murder 23 people a day, but they were all just villains. And this
Yeah.
guy is just like murdering like his
A
high
bully.
school bully. What?
Yeah,
Like,
it
is that
was.
necessary?
You went a little too much with that. So some dumb scenes in the movie. The foot chase between L and Light.
Yeah, there's this one part in the diner when they jump. Elle jumps on like the thingy, and he smashes this dude in the soup.
Unnecessarily.
Why was that necessary? Like literally, it added nothing. Like he literally.
Yeah, there were some dumb parts when Elle like literally, I think just to be cool,
like
slid on top of the car like to
yeah.
jump over. Road Hero was way too long and unnecessarily knocked people over. Kita had a reason to do it, like he pushed somebody over so they would block as Elle was coming, but Elle literally smashed a guy's face into his food. And then like seriously, and then it kept going. I was like, this is still going on? What is happening? It was hilarious. I started laughing out loud. It was funny.
It was dumb, and he runs so weird.
Really?
Light runs fun. Like just I
Have respect. His name's Kita. Just kidding. Light.
I did not like the actor. Like, well, I didn't like the way he looked. Like, not like looks wise. It's just like.
No, you sent me notes on accident.
Yeah, like his NSYNC frost tips hair. Like it's 2017. Like no one has hair like that anymore. And he ran funny. And at the very beginning, when Ryuk came for the first time into the classroom, his screams annoyed me.
The close up where he's like, ah!
But it was like a cheesy scream.
It was
like
very...
real cheesy. Yeah. And I'm like maybe they got this from like the anime. Like maybe this is like a direct thing. Nope. I watched it. Didn't happen. Like it was just real weird screaming to me. Like I felt so uncomfortable during the screams.
What do you have to say about that, drunkie?
Like he was weird. Like they purposely made him the way he was. Like he was just stereotypical kind of punk kid that I would hang out with in high school. I'm like, okay, this is too forced.
So you'd be, and I was a cheerleader,
and then he dates a cheerleader.
We would rule the world.
I wish. No, I don't wish. But it's like really like this punky kid gets like a cheerleader with blue eyes and like big lips. I was like,
wait, what? What are you talking about? The cheerleader, blue eyes, big lips?
I don't think that's who she was.
She had big lips, no?
I don't know.
I didn't notice that.
I didn't look at her lips.
That's weird.
Why is that weird?
Because it was too perfect, like
but then,
for the story.
You know what she liked when he was like, hey, I'll tell you a secret. Or like he didn't want to tell her that he did.
It was like the first conversation they had, and then he's like, I killed 2 people. What?
She's like, oh, let me see how. Like she was super intrigued.
Yeah, she was into it.
And then the next scene, they're like in his house and...
They took a little while, I think.
It didn't. It went real fast. In my notes, it went real fast.
So what did you think about Elle? Crazy, kind of this character.
I think he was pretty cool.
It reminded me of somebody
Certain
here.
Characteristics I liked. He's extremely smart. At the beginning, I understand what was happening because they brought him in weird. I don't know, like the way they introduced him was kind of weird. Like it was very not cliche, very anime like. But as far as like the way he was able to connect the dots, they don't have it the way they did in like the first, episode 4 and 5 of the show. So this one they had to kind of speed up his smartness. But I mean, he was smart. He figured it out real fast.
Yeah, he knew exactly. He's like, hey, that was a local broadcast. That was only this area. He threw us off by throwing Kira, the Japanese word over here. So that was super smart. What was cool about the movie, and also you'll see it in the show, is the rise of Kira, like as far as like worldwide, like the cops love him. He's killing bad guys. You can easily see people being like supporting this guy. He kills bad guys? Why are you going to stop him? He's doing our job. People are afraid to be bad now. Mm-hmm. So, and it's like, it's pretty crazy. So even they mentioned that with the dad, like his office is trashed. People were upset that he was investigating. So that was cool. What do you think about that? Anything? If there was a person like that real life, how would you feel? Like, would you be like,
it's a double-edged sword.
He killed, Putin, or he killed, like, great, like, we don't have, or North Korea, like the dictators like that. That's the kind of stuff that Kira would be doing, and people would be like applauding it. I think personally.
You would applaud him?
No, I think people would.
Would you?
Would I? Probably not. No.
I don't like. I know that that's what he wanted. Like he wanted people to be so scared to be evil that he would just get rid of evil.
Yeah.
And he mentioned that multiple times, but I would not applaud him at all. I mean, who is he to determine who gets justice and who gets death?
That's
like,
what his dad said too.
He's I mean, you're a high school kid. You're nobody. Like, no.
The one thing he did say that was all right, like there was this website where they're like, "Hey, kill this guy, they're all like these people have all these stories, kill these people." He's like, "What if they're not verified? Like, what if they just pissed somebody off? I don't want to do that."
The crazy ex-boyfriend.
And the girlfriend's like, "Well, these look legit." The girlfriend.
Yeah.
It's like.
And then she like took that page off. So what do you think of that whole
the
FBI
chemistry,
thing?
or
like she tore the Death Note page and she wrote the names of all the FBI agents. I thought that was pretty.
To jump off the.
Like do all this, get all the names, and then have them jump all off together.
That's crazy.
And there was I saw like a little Easter egg there. They had Jack Ryan. I don't know if you know who Jack Ryan is. He was one of the FBI agents written on that Death Note. Jack Ryan is the character that.
Men in Black.
No.
I mean. Mission Impossible.
No, I need to look at the other ones too. They probably have those in there. But Jack Ryan is the main character from like the Sum of All Fears. I think it's like is it the Tom Clancy novels or something? Harrison Ford was Jack Ryan in Air Force One, and the one also with Clear and Present Danger. Like it's this one character. It's like a James Bond of this like spy world. So they also Jack Ryan there, who's an FBI agent, which was a cool little Easter egg for all those Jack Ryan fans. Nobody.
He said nonsense, to be honest. I didn't understand anything he said except Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford, nice.
That's the only thing. That's it for the old people, I guess. The only thing I caught was Harrison Ford.
I think, what's his name? Captain Kirk. Chris Pine, the guy from that movie with the boat that you like, that your friend told us about.
What is that movie about? Well,
your friend just mentioned it.
She did comment it on our YouTube channel.
Nitzel.
Yeah, Nitzel.
Shout out to Nitzel.
There you go. She corrected us. She's like, "Hey, I think Claudia meant this one."
I don't think it was like a correction. She just meant Claudia meant this one. Yeah. That's how I read it.
Yeah.
I even now she commented.
Yeah. So, no, she did it nicely. So I liked her comment. And but anyway, so Chris Pine I think played the most recent Jack Ryan in one of these movies. But anyway, off topic. That was just pretty cool.
Jim's old people rant.
I honestly did not understand a single word he said.
Nice.
We still
okay.
love you, Jim.
So it's like if they had Fox Mulder in there and Dana Scully. Kind of like that.
Now we get it.
So yeah. Anything else from this movie? Is there anything you liked about this movie?
When it ended.
Oh, okay.
It was just dumb.
I have to be honest with y'all. The wine was really good. And I dozed off like 10 minutes. Did you finish the movie? I was, you know how I have a history of falling asleep.
Did you finish the movie?
I did finish it, but I fell asleep like for 10 minutes.
I don't think it was 10 minutes.
I was like, and Pablo just let me sleep.
What did Pablo think about it?
He watched it all, I think, because I was asleep for 10 minutes. But he said it was okay. The plot was okay.
You liked it? Yeah, no, I heard from other people that know nothing about the anime. They're like, it was okay. It was fine. It wasn't super terrible. But
cheesy, but okay.
Yeah, but I think people who have seen and know the manga and the anime are like, yeah, this is.
And he only watched it because I told him you said that he should watch it. That you
I said the
recommended
anime.
it. And he's like, really? Jim likes this? And I'm like, oh, you trust
So
this?
for the record, I said watch the anime, but also watch this one just so we could talk about how terrible it was going to be.
I remember in the parking lot you said, watch the movie, Claudia. It came out today.
Yeah, for this.
Jim says to watch
He
the
said
movie.
it's really good. It's like I hadn't seen it.
Jim.
Yeah, so one thing, anything you liked when it ended?
Bless you.
Anything else that you want to
Bless you.
Bless you.
No, I mean, I don't think that the demon's voice went with his body.
Oh, Willem Dafoe?
At all. It did not go.
It's comical, right?
Well, he's supposed to be. He's just like a...
It doesn't sound like the one from the show, though.
I don't remember.
I feel like the show goes more... The voice goes with the...
Oh.
Well...
You're watching it in English,
I'm watching
right?
it in English,
okay.
Yeah.
I watched it in...
Okay, well, I watched one episode in Japanese. I'm like, it's unnecessary.
Subtitles,
I'm like, why do
okay.
I have to read? I'll just like... I'll listen to it. It's fine. It's
Sure.
the same thing. But yeah, I mean, I don't think his voice went. I thought it was just cliche. What was with the apples? Did they talk about it in the show?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
In the show, it's like a drug for them. So
No, because at the very beginning, I remember when he first tried the
Yeah.
apple, he's like, "Ooh, what's this?"
Yeah.
And he ate the whole thing.
Yeah.
And like in this one, he left like half
He
the
did.
apple.
He did leave
left-
a crap load of
he
apple. It
only
bothered
ate
me.
like the inside and like the whole like the outside, the good part.
Yeah.
Like he left. I'm like, what? Like no one
If
taught
he
him how to
really
eat an
liked
apple.
them, he would have like eaten the whole thing.
Yeah. So like in
Um,
the show, he ate literally like he would put the entire
Yeah.
thing in his mouth and he'd eat it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it meant anything or it was just because he liked it.
Yeah, in the show they do go on that it's kind of like a drug. It gives them this like it just tastes so good and they like it. And it
Is
gives
it
them another
symbol?
feeling.
Because demons, you know, the apple,
Sure.
apple of sin. Even though they never explain in the Bible what
Like
was
the
an apple.
biblical.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
I don't
sin.
know, but here in this in the expanded universe of the anime, it goes into a little bit more with the demons and their world and stuff like that. So
When did
Yeah.
you first read?
no,
Watch
I never
this?
read it. I watched it because my sister told me, "Hey, check out this anime." You know, because I think we watched
How old were you?
like what year is it?
It was
2017?
like 5 months ago.
Yeah, it was this
And
year. It was
I'm
this
telling
year.
you, it was like what like the new teacher breakfast or teacher of the year not
Something.
breakfast.
Like your series. I thought you were being like sarcastic because we poke at Jim because he's old.
No,
No.
it was this year.
We
He
were
literally-
no, we were behind. We were in the back. We're getting all the cameras set up, and while we were waiting for it to start, Mark was setting up everything. Jim started telling me about the show. It was
Yeah,
recent. It was
I
recently.
had just started watching it with my sister, so it's like like I mentioned, it's cat and mouse. Elle trying to prove that light is Kira and all this stuff, and it goes on from there, and then just the crazy turns that goes around there, like the family stuff, the parents, that whole situation, his dad not wanting to believe it, or things like that. So it's super cool, and Light is so different. He's super intelligent in the show. He's a straight A student. He is way too smart for his age.
He was the top of his class in the show.
Yeah.
His sister and mom adore him.
Like
He
everybody loves
was
him.
like a genius.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's a genius. So in the show, you have two geniuses against each other. You have Light, and then you have Elle.
Like I remember,
Boom,
there's
boom.
this one episode when I think the demon was trying to ask him like how he was just like how he had the diary, the death note
Mhm.
like in open, just like in the
wasn't that
public.
awesome? Yeah.
And so he's like, you even have like the key in your cajon, and
Yeah.
then he's like, no, but if you open it, they're gonna see like, oh, just a diary. And then he's like, really? You get this pen, you take it out, and then you put a hole,
Dude.
and then you get the thing. He's like, and then if they find it, then it'll catch on fire, and then they ask me why. It's just because I'm a teenage boy. He's like, no one's gonna know.
Yeah, Light was so intelligent. There's different things like for his door. I don't think you've gotten into that yet. Well, there's a part later where in his door he does a certain thing where when he closes his door he puts a piece of lead so it can tell if it breaks. That means somebody went in his room. Not only that, he has a fake one, so they're like, oh, he has a lead trick, but he has another trick of another way to find out if somebody else was in there. So that's the obvious one that we're like, okay, they'll replace it the right way because if they catch it. Super smart, and like what she talked about is like this cabinet that lowers in, and he built this contraption to hide his death note. Super smart. Yeah, he's super intelligent. That's what I love about the anime, and this movie does not do it justice.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Unfortunately.
have thought that he was like smart based
Yeah.
on the movie. I thought he was just like a regular kid.
Yeah, with a little bit of he knew how to do calculus or whatever, but that's about it. Like there wasn't anything
Everyone can do
special.
calculus.
Yeah, super easy. Yeah. So the one thing I hated at the end was it bloopers. It's like after this dark or like movie, then you have bloopers of them at the end.
I
thought
didn't
it was
see
super
that.
dumb. You didn't stick around.
You did? Did you know about it, and that's why you
No,
stayed?
it ended, and then immediately bloopers kick in. So you have this whole moment where like the
No.
dad's like you were here all along or whatever, and then like the guy walks in, and then it ends. Like Light just turns around because I think somebody wrote, I forgot what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So
then
I
it
watched
ends.
that. That was in bloopers.
And then they went into bloopers with like Willem Dafoe, like in the whole thing with his face. showing
It
his
wasn't
reuk.
that immediate because
It was pretty immediate. I thought because I started writing my notes. Started writing, and then it just came on. Maybe it was while I was writing.
yeah,
my
it
notes.
was while you're. So it was
But
a
it
few
wasn't.
minutes
It
in
wasn't like it wasn't that
after
far
credits.
enough. Yeah, it was when they were saying, "Hey, Claudia Lemus as Light Turner,"
Yeah.
like
So
that.
when I saw that, bloop, I got out.
And they were all laughing, like, ha ha ha. It was all bloopers. It's like, after this movie, you don't have bloopers. Like, why would you have
Death
that? Yeah, Death
Maybe
Note.
like a little like, just
Yeah.
be light.
On the light note.
On the light, yeah.
It's pretty good. Yeah, so that's all I have to say about Death Note. Anything else you want to add?
Nope.
What would you rate it?
Initially after I watched it, I gave it a 3 out of 10 notebooks.
Okay.
Death Notes. But after talking about it and realizing how dumb it is, I'm gonna give it 2 out of 10. Just because, and then again, I gave the 3 out of 10 before I started watching the show, and now seeing like how different the characters were, it's 2 out of 10.
What about you, Claudia?
Melinda's a really, really, really tough rater, but it was pretty bad. Still, on my scale, I would say like 4 out of 5. 4. No, wait.
So it's really high.
4 out of 10 notebooks.
Okay. Death Notebooks. Like after you
burn
burn them. Okay. I would say it was pretty bad adaptation of the source material So it was pretty bad. I'd have to give it like a 4 out of 10 as well. There was some okay stuff in there, but 3.5. Let's do 3.5 Death Notebooks.
I mean, I still watched it, whether you guys believe it or not. Yeah. Takes some points.
Sure.
I'll give it a 4.
Yeah, but I do think that like maybe the regular person not knowing anything about it, it's like it was fine. Would you classify this a horror movie?
No.
Suspense?
No, it's like a Babadook, but like a war.
I never saw Babadook. I need to watch it.
Watch Babadook. So
I heard it's pretty good.
It's good.
Okay.
And that one's pretty funny, but scary, but not as bad as this one.
All right, cool.
That one's actually scary.
Well, that was our show on Netflix's Death Note. Nice try, Netflix. What's going on there?
Stick to originals.
Yeah, to Ozark was awesome. Watch our Ozark
at.
review. So yeah, Death Note was Death Note. Watch the anime or read the manga. Yeah. So my name's Jim and
Claudia.
Melinda.
Yeah. Why am I saying your name?
Jim, let me talk.
Yeah, so that was our show. Thanks for watching. Follow us on Twitter at Nerd Mixtape. Follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Nerd Mixtape. And find us on YouTube by searching for us at Nerd Mixtape. So thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.